My name's Jeff, and I love beer. I don't just mean that I love to drink it, though. I mean I'm passionate about the history of beer, how it's made, and what's in store for the future of beer. Some might call me a beer snob, but I see it a bit differently. I want to learn about all beers. It's time to go exploring in the world of beer. Our first stop of the day doesn't look that interesting because it's that house, but it's proof that big things can come in small packages. Inside is an apartment where homebrewer Peter is going to show us what he's doing. Hopefully, he'll also give us some beer. So guys, thank you so much for inviting us into your home. How'd you get into the homebrewing hobby?
I've been doing it, I don't know if I would say for about 5 years. Homebrewing for me kind of started back in Seton Hall where I went to college. I worked at a small brew pub and it became an interest of mine, and a couple buddies in the house decided it'd be fun to try it ourselves.
Are you an extract guy or are you an all grain guy?
I mix it up, sometimes all grain, sometimes it's brew and bag, but generally extract, just due to the space limitations.
So how much do you love his hobby, or do you hate it?
As long as he cleans up after himself,
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
Yes, fantastic. But you get to sample the goods, right?
Yeah.
Has he ever made you any flavors just for you?
He found like a naturally fermenting cider. He's like, I'm gonna test this out, and it turned into like apple wine.
I made a cider once for my wife and it turned out terrible. It was just, it was flat. It tasted like really lame apple juice. So what styles do you like to brew?
Depends on the season for me. In the winter, I just have brewed a chocolate coffee porter, which is delicious. But now for the spring and the summer, I'm doing a saison. I'll probably end up doing an IPA, probably do like a light cream ale.
Have you ever tried any just out there recipes?
Yeah, the Christmas beers are always kind of a fun mix because it's like a mix and mash of spices. 2 Christmases ago, it was brown sugar, honey, cinnamon, ginger, orange peel, thrown in like, you know, with a traditional brown ale, and it was just this crazy kind of spicy beer.
Do you have a favorite that you brew every now and then?
I like stouts.
Ah.
For homebrewers, it's kind of like your basic recipe that you start with, because when you start, it can hide a lot of the mistakes and the errors when you first get out. But then when you start to perfect it, and you can get like the subtle nuances of the beer, and like you can make like an American stout that's a little hoppy, or you could do a traditional Irish stout that's nice and dry.
Stouts are fun. That's a great choice. In California, we overhop everything, but it's nice to travel around and see everything else that's going on in the country. The saisons, which are, I think, they're getting pretty big right now.
It's been a very big trend to see people move back to session ales. You know, there was a really big fad when people were doing high gravity beers. I'm gonna see if I can drink this 12% beer, 13, 14%. You just get tired of it. You have like 1 or 2 beers and like you're done. So everyone's moving back to session ales, which is a little bit lighter. You can have a couple nice, crisp, clean flavors. I mean,
Yeah.
and saison is kind of perfect for that.
Yeah. Do you have anything cooking right now?
Saison is actually on the stovetop at the moment.
Excellent, excellent. So can we take a look at that?
Yeah, definitely.
So this is quite a setup. It's clear that you are dedicated to the craft of brewing because this is a tight space.
Just a little.
Yeah. What do we got going on here? What's cooking?
Today is just pretty basic French saison. Being that I'm in this tight space, I can't really do a lauter tongue or, you know, mashing in and out.
Yeah.
So I have to go back to my extract roots. Just some light malt extract here. I have a couple different selections of hops, and towards the end I'll throw in some nice orange peel to kind of give it a little bit more of a citrus vibe, because I'm looking for something nice and light for spring.
And you're brewing in the bag, right?
No, I have some steeping grades at the moment. Just a couple torrefied wheat, some caramel 20. I think there's some also acidulated malt in there as well, just to kind of give it a little acid to it,
That
a
is
little
a
bitterness.
fancy word. Can you explain what that is?
Actually, I cannot.
Okay, I don't blame you. That's a big word. I have no idea what that is.
German acidulated malt. What I was told by my buddies over at Cask and Kettle was that it kind of gives it a little bit of a little bitterness in the back end, which helps.
Acidulated malt. Got it. Okay, so what kind of hops are we using?
A combination of Nelson Sauvin and a just hops. Wackatoo, which is kind of like everyone's been blending different hop strains these days. From what I've been told, it gives a nice little citrus lime peel essence to it on the end. And for this style, they're mostly going to be aroma, where most brews are going to throw in hops at the very beginning of the boil. These are just going to be towards the end to kind of give it that bright aroma.
Cool.
And only just a little bit of the alpha acids to kind of give it that hoppy bite that most people get, that kind of real bitterness like IPAs have.
You bottle, right? You don't keg?
I keg.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it was a struggle for me to consistent carbonation when I was bottle conditioning, so I was like, screw this, I have to keg.
Make life easy.
I need new toys, yeah.
Yeah, and I've always been told if I ever make the switch from bottling to kegging that I will never go back.
Oh yeah, it's the easiest thing, and you can dial in how much carbonation you want to get in your beer, and there's no, I just waited 2 months for this beer to sit in the bottle, crack it, and I have flat beer, and there's nothing I can do. There's nothing more heartbreaking.
This is cooking. Obviously, I'm not going to dunk my face in that. Do you have anything that maybe we could taste?
I still have some of my chocolate coffee porter on tap.
Let's give that a whirl.
All right.
All right, so this is where the magic happens after the magic in there happens.
Yes. This is Second Floor Brewery, my little
Good name, good
little
name.
paradise.
So you said you made the jump to kegging, not doing bottles anymore. What size keg you got in there?
I actually use a 3-gallon keg just for space reasons and to keep things a little bit more consumption-wise for myself. I can always try new beers. You're not drinking 5 gallons at a time, so you can keep rotating
good
different
number.
styles.
And then what's the other fridge for?
The other fridge is actually for fermenting. In this apartment, being I'm on the second floor, year-round, it's like 75, 80 degrees, so it just doesn't work with good fermentation temperatures. You generally want a little bit of a cooler temp, so getting a nice little mini fridge and a HVAC temperature controller, I'm all set.
I've been dying to do that at home because I'm horrible with fermentation temperatures, so that's fantastic. You plug it in, you set the temp, and it's good to go, right?
Yeah, it's the easiest thing in the world. You just plug it right into your little mini fridge and you're locked in within like a 5-degree window, whatever temperature you want.
Now, as fun as it is to talk about HVAC wiring and routing, you have beer in there. I think it's time we drink it.
All right.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
There you are, sir.
Let's sit down and enjoy this.
Good way to start the day.
Yes, of course, with a delicious beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir. That's delicious. Nice and creamy on top, super smooth, great color. You nailed it. This is a wonderful beer.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for sharing this with us.